In the heart of Mali, where the great Niger River winds through red earth and endless savanna, there once stood a village called Kandoro. For generations, the people of Kandoro guarded a sacred relic, the Mask of Ngolo. The elders said it was carved by the hands of the first hunter who ever challenged the gods. They said that inside the mask lived his spirit, watching, waiting, protecting the land. It was a mask that was never to be touched, never to be taken beyond the shrine. But greed has no respect for legend. In the city of Bamako, where the streets never sleep and the markets shine with noise and chaos, there lived a man named Kofi. Kofi was clever, too clever, perhaps. He made his living stealing art, selling sacred carvings and ancient beads to rich men who didn't care where they came from. One day, Kofi heard a whisper in a smoky bar, a rumor about a mask so powerful it could make a man rich for life. A mask guarded by villagers too poor to understand its worth. That night, under a moonless sky, Kofi set out for Kandoro. He told himself it was just another job, another theft. But deep inside, something told him this one was different. Kofi reached Kandoro before dawn. The village was quiet, only the sound of crickets and the low hum of distant drums. He crept into the shrine, a small clay hut adorned with cowrie shells and old carvings. In the center stood the Mask of Ngolo, dark wood polished by centuries of worship, crowned with gold and feathers. Kofi lifted it carefully. The air changed. The ground trembled slightly. For a moment, the mask seemed to breathe. He froze, heart pounding. But the moment passed, and greed won over fear. By sunrise, Kofi was gone, and with him, the spirit of Ngolo. In the bustling city, Kofi sold the mask to a foreign collector for more money than he had ever seen. He laughed all the way home, dreaming of a new life. But that night, something strange happened. When Kofi looked in his mirror, his reflection didn't move. His body turned away, but his reflection stayed still, staring at him with eyes that were not his own. The following nights, the dreams came nightmares filled with drums, fire, and a deep voice calling his name from the darkness. Kofi, Kofi, return what is mine. Terrified, Kofi returned to Kandoro, clutching the mask and shaking like a man cursed. But the villagers were waiting. They knew what he had done. At the front of the crowd stood Aminata, the chief's daughter, proud, fierce, and dressed in warrior beads and feathers. "You brought darkness upon us," she said. "The spirit of Ngolo walks again, and it follows you." Kofi begged for forgiveness, falling to his knees. But Aminata only looked at him with sorrow. "It is not us you must ask," she said. "It is him." That night, the villagers gathered around the shrine. They beat the drums, calling on the ancestors to cleanse the land. The mask lay in the center, untouched. As the chanting grew louder, the mask began to move. Its eyes glowed with fire. The wind rose, swirling dust and ashes. Voices echoed, hundreds of voices, whispering from beyond the grave. And Kofi was pulled forward, as if an invisible hand gripped his soul. He saw a tall figure emerge from the flames, the ancient hunter, Ngolo himself, his face half hidden by smoke. "You took my face for gold," the spirit thundered. "Now, wear it forever." The mask flew through the air and bound itself to Kofi's face. He screamed, but no sound came out. His body twisted, then went still. When the wind stopped, Kofi was gone. For days, the villagers searched the forest, but they found no trace of him, only footprints leading deeper into the trees. And then, nothing. Only Aminata dared to go further. She walked for hours beneath the silent trees, until she found the mask nailed to a trunk, still breathing, faintly glowing. When she looked at it, she saw her own reflection, but her eyes were red. She turned and ran, heart pounding, never speaking of what she saw. Years passed. The story of the mask became a warning told to children by the fireside. They say on nights when the wind is strong, you can still hear the drums beating on their own. Some say the mask protects the village now, watching from the shadows. Others say it hungers, waiting for another thief to come. And when the full moon rises, the mask of Ngolo opens its eyes. And somewhere far away, another man dreams of gold. Because in this world, some treasures are not meant to be taken, and some spirits never forget the face of their thief.